Give me bad news. Successful entrepreneurs need negative feedback. Is an article written by Carrie Susan Smith. She writes about an entrepreneur named Tom Blondie. He has been in the entrepreneurial field for 18 years. He has created a business called Language Management International. He's been the Chief Marketing Officer of Cyclone Commerce. He's been a trainer. He's worked with companies to be a trainer for the incoming CEOs, and he is currently a CEO at Ethics Media. However, Tom Blondie did not always know that he'd be a good entrepreneur. He graduated with a math degree from Southern Illinois, and he worked as a computer programmer, but the boss always told him that he talked better than he was programming. He used that advice, and he wanted to be an entrepreneur. Tom Blondie's advice is, a good idea needs negative feedback. He quotes, "If you have a great idea and you present it to someone and they immediately like it with no reservations, it is not a good idea. They need to have tough questions. They need to talk to people who will be writing the checks. They need constructive criticism."
Hearing something other than brilliant or you'll make a fortune can be tough for a prospective entrepreneur. However, Blondie realized that it was important. He used to be hurt and realized that it was really just constructive criticism to help him be a better successful entrepreneur. As Kagan points out, people must focus on excess income that people perceive they have or expect to have. Basically, it's important to take the negative feedback and turn it into money. An article from entrepreneur.com advises entrepreneurs how to take negative feedback and turn it into something constructive. They say the way to receive feedback is to listen, to understand, rather than just to hear. Also to be inquisitive and ask a lot of questions. After you listen to the negative feedback, you should summarize it and ask the person for suggestions. At the end, you should thank them for their time so that they will come back and help you in the future. After you receive the negative feedback, it's important to reflect on the feedback. First, you should process the feedback and completely understand what you've just heard. And then you should discuss the feedback with friends, investors, family, etc. After that, negative feedback can really hurt your confidence, so it's really important to treat yourself, take yourself out to dinner, get a massage, do something fun so that your confidence isn't totally hurt, and then take the negative feedback and turn it into something positive.
In an article by Sarah Pierce titled "The Spirit of Enterprise," she says that entrepreneurs have 5 things in common, and that people who miss out on these 5 traits are usually not going to be the best entrepreneurs. The first one is passion. She used Richard Branson and his passion for life and for starting new businesses as an example. The second trait is positivity in an entrepreneur. If an entrepreneur isn't positive, then they're probably going to fail. Third is adaptability. Using Google as an example, in that they are adaptable before changes even happen. The fourth is leadership and charisma. And her last is that they must have ambition,
According to our article, often company founders take an egocentric approach to running a startup venture, but that's not the best approach. Blondie says, "I found building consistency sometimes to slowing the process, but in the end, it makes things easier. The extra time it takes to build consistency will pay off." According to entrepreneur.com, an article called "Can We Learn from Management Techniques from the Japanese Reading Process?" Most Japanese businesses and government organizations make decisions based on consensus, which has been described as an agreement by all parties involved in a group's decision, with each group member satisfied with the ultimate decision. It is also equally important that no one is individually responsible for success or failure. So, as you can see, building consensus is not only a strategy that worked for Blondie, but also for Japanese entrepreneurs.
These days, more people are finding startups more interesting, but larger firms always have an advantage with capital. So in conclusion, entrepreneurs need feedback, and they need to know that entrepreneurship is not for everyone, and entrepreneurs should always rely on others to help them make their dreams come true. Thank you.
5 minutes